The reality of there being an estimated 90,000 Venezuelan migrants currently living in Guyana does not sit well with the country's main opposition party, the Apnu+Afc. The reason is that migrants are easily afforded a birth certificate, empowering them to vote at local elections due to a compromised system. This is according to leader of the opposition, Aubrey Norton, who recently said that cognizant of the threat this issue poses on voter registration for upcoming elections, his party is relentless in its calls for a new voters list.
That it would be unconstitutional to remove people's names from the voters list without, given the ruling of the Chief Justice and the Constitution itself. So we are not going to, in the People's Progressive Party, we are not going to support any process that is unconstitutional.
But the government, and more specifically Vice President Dr. Bara Jagdeo, has made it clear that the creation of a new list of electors will be in contravention of the laws without the necessary clearance from the court. With local government elections forthcoming, Norton's party is hard-pressed for a new voters list, but has not taken any action outside of the norm against the government's reluctance. He told reporters recently that the opposition is monitoring the potential impact of the situation and the outcome of the local government elections, and that his party has informed the international community.
As the government closes every opportunity for good governance, inversely, people are being sensitized. They are creating tensions in the society. And when the people in this society act, they will not be able to say that the normal channels for resolving these issues within the context of good governance have not been used.
Norton's message to persons who have been calling for protests and disorderly behavior is that a responsible approach is needed for swift resolution.
To them I say, it is easy for you to say that. But as a responsible political party, we're committed to the people of Guyana, and we are giving the government every opportunity to resolve these issues within the context of good governance.
The Registration of Births and Deaths Amendment Bill was passed in the National Assembly in August of last year, in spite of strong criticism and objection from the Apnu+Afc opposition. However, the government used its one-seat majority to acquire approval for the passage of the bill. The opposition said that at the time the bill was being deliberated on before its approval, it warned of a sinister move behind the provision. It is evident now that the PPPC has initiated its plans to register persons who are without true and legitimate basis for registration, since any person who is armed with a local birth certificate and is over 14 years of age becomes eligible to be entered on the National Register of Registrants, from which the voters list is extracted. Member of Parliament Amanza Walton Desir registered the party's concerns over the act, which lacks the provision for the information to be included by a tushao or justice of the peace before a migrant is granted a birth certificate.
We're calling on Guyanese to be aware, because you are absolutely correct. If corrupt, for example, justice of the peace decides that he should, for a price, confer or make that declaration, that person becomes entitled to a birth certificate, and thereby is deemed to be a citizen of Guyana. So it is quite alarming, and there are no checks and balances. Neither are there very strenuous penalties to mitigate against nefarious conduct.
Temika Rodney reporting for the HGP Nightly News.